We've got auto mechanics going on here.
Okay,
what-
I quit.
Why? Because I'm recording?
No, I got the engine back together, but
Look at that.
there's a lot of wires.
That need to be hooked back up.
Yeah, I don't know. Wish it was like your brain, you know, they find new neural pathways. And then I don't have to worry about that. I just shut the hood and wait a little bit and feed it a pizza or something, and then it all fixes itself.
So what's your project here?
Just a little gasket. We had a high idle. It was idling around 1300 RPM, which is way too high. There is no adjustment for that. On these, it's computer controlled, and when the computer senses certain things, it adjusts for them. And so it sensed that there was air leaking, and so it adjusted the idle up, and that's a good indication. And I started following some advice and decided to hook up the OBD2 reader. Lo and behold, misfire number 6. So that zeroed me in on where the leak would be, because that's what's going to be the cylinder that's having the problem. So I cleaned out all the acorns and the maple seeds and the leaves and everything else that all the animals had stored in there. And then I was able to squirt some brake clean. Brake clean usually works pretty good, and I put the little fine nozzle on there and got right down there and sprayed it in there. And as soon as I did, the RPM slowed down, and it almost killed the engine right then and there. So we knew there was a leak, because if there is no leak, it won't change RPMs.
Okay.
So when we pull it apart, as you can see, the gasket on this end was just totally disintegrated. There's holes here. Air was leaking in there. On the other side wasn't much better. You can see here the hole there. That was just the way it was.
Disintegrating?
Yeah, so GM in their great wisdom decided to use some newer antifreeze that's corrosive, and these plastic gaskets just don't hold up. So
Wait. What year is this Tahoe?
this is a 99.
Okay.
So it's almost ready for collector plates.
Well, then it's held up pretty well since 99.
Yeah, but we haven't really taken it anywhere. It does have 180,000 miles on it. So so now we're just putting it back together. We just put the valve covers back on. We'll tighten those down, and then the rest of it is just basically hooking up the air compressor for the air conditioning, the alternator, and all the sensor wiring. So these all get plugged in everywhere, just like that. I mean, they're keyed, so it's not like you can make a mistake and put that one in there.
Oh, that's nice.
They're all different, and they're all pretty much located right where you're going to plug them. As you can see here, the difference. One has 5 wires, and then this one has 2. So obviously you can't put the 2 in the 5. And this one has 2 also, but you can see they're very different plugs, so you don't make a mistake and plug them in the wrong way. Then you have to make sure you get all your vacuum lines hooked back up with, because if you have a vacuum leak, you'll be still in the same boat with the high idle. So all this stuff just gets bolted on where it came off, just like that.
Now, the other day, that wasn't the issue with the truck, was it? We had brake problems, too.
We had no brakes.
No brakes.
Who needs brakes?
Yeah, evidently we do.
Oh,
Okay, so what's going on with the car over there?
nothing.
You found something under the hood, though, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that's the mouse nest there.
The mouse nest. Elise has had the car at camp. Yeah, she's not driving it there once a week, maybe.
So I vacuumed it out.
Nice.
No babies in there.
Oh, that's good. Thanks for the update. Hey! Oh boy, I ducked. How's it going? Want to tell our people?
Well, we'll find out once we turn it over whether there's a bolt inside the engine. I can't find one of my bolts.
Oh, okay, I'll leave you to it. My hair is like a mess. Not like a mess, it is a mess. So last week we had lots of car trouble. Dutch came home and he's been working on cars all weekend. Bye! Bye! Come again! Oh boy. Ernie's calling for Edna. I don't know where she is. Usually they're together, but she likes to ditch him. Came out into the woods, partly to get away from Ernie because he was so loud, and just talk about goodbyes. Elisa just left, and I'm finding that goodbyes are getting harder. Before my son died, I was going to say lost my son, but I didn't lose him. He just died. It was a loss, but I didn't lose him. He died. It's Angela from the future, just jumping in to finish my thoughts. I got too emotional that day. That was more than 2 weeks ago, probably closer to 3 weeks ago when Elisa left to head back for her summer job. And I came outside, I wanted to talk about saying goodbyes and how my life has changed in the last 9.5, almost 10 months. I admit it has gotten harder to say goodbye to people. Saying goodbye to my daughter when she leaves, saying goodbye to my mom after a visit to see her, saying goodbye to my siblings, my in-laws, knowing that it could be the last goodbye. And I'd started to talk about after the last time that I saw my son while he was alive. And I just got all teary-eyed and crying. I was a blubbering mess. I am okay. I just have my ups and I have my downs. And I don't know when they're going to hit. But having lost a child, and I hate that term, but I'm not sure how else to describe it. Having lost a child, it just brings it home even more. Okay, I'm going to start crying again. So, okay, I was getting weepy again. I just have to stop. I have to stop that. I want to finish this. Okay, so goodbyes are hard. I guess you can understand why. I lost a son. Saying goodbye to my other children is very hard. It's hard. Not knowing the future is hard. Give somebody you love a hug and tell them that you love them. Now back to our day of car restoration. Elisa left us for another month. All right, the day is saved. Dutch found the missing bolt, right?
I don't know.
He thinks he
It's
found
always
the
up
bolt.
for debate. I mean, I ruined another block piston once before, so.
So if you're going to attempt to do this job, the only way to finish it is if you have a scan tool that will read the 1345 PID that has your cam offset angle or your cam retard angle. Your distributor has to be adjusted after you install it, even though the computer takes care of the timing. The relationship to the cam has to be adjusted. I guesstimated where the distributor was supposed to be, and when I read the angle on the computer, it was at 23.9 negative, and so that has to be adjusted. So I adjusted it has to be 0 plus or minus 2 degrees, and right now it's at 0.9 negative, which is good. And I locked it down.
Oh, good.
So it starts and runs. There may be a little coolant leak, I'm not sure, because I noticed a little bit wet underneath on the other side. Other than that, the intake has been fixed.
Yay.
I'm going to give the customer a test drive. The last time I did this, it almost ended up in the trees, so.
Okay, he changed the caliper now. He's going to do a little test drive.
I got it in reverse. The brakes are holding it there. My RPMs are down where they're supposed to be, around 650, 600 in gear, and it's idling nicely.
Yeah. Nice idle. Boy, I can't get you in there. Woo!
Brakes are still a little spongy,
Ooh.
but we'll get that fixed when we get the new rotors next weekend. I'd go 90 here, but
The road gets very short at 90
the road
miles
gets too
an
short
hour.
at 90.